Police got a call from someone claiming to be a kidnapper, saying they had a weapon and were holding a student hostage inside a classroom. Officers quickly responded to the scene, but soon noticed that something seemed off.
Where is 2203?
There is no 2203.
When officers got to the scene, they were informed that the supposed hostage was in room 2203, a room that wasn't even part of the building. This instantly raised suspicions of a possible hoax, but with lives possibly at risk, they had no choice but to respond as if the threat were genuine.
Please initiate a hard lockdown. Everyone, please go into your classroom, close and lock the doors. Please initiate a hard lockdown. Everyone, please go into your classroom and lock the doors.
9928, they're on a hard lockdown. We'll just walk until we feel comfortable that...
Yeah. We'll connect in the further south hallway.
Yeah, see, there's no 2203. Mm-hmm. This is it. I'm sure it's the line, but they're calling, unfortunately, they're calling from a 911 only phone, so we can't.
No. You found the person?
No, we have not, but we have a bunch of officers on their way and a sergeant.
Police searched the entire school, but found no trace of a suspect or a hostage. As the search dragged on, more than 50 urgent calls came in from worried parents looking for information. It wasn't until the next day that the real story finally came to light.
My body cam's on.
Problem is, I don't think our freaking computer has.
Police got a tip from a student who said they had overheard the 911 call being made while riding the school bus. The student remembered someone making the threat on board, and using that information, officers checked surveillance footage to identify the person behind the call.
So she sat like over. She lied about it.
763
This is where we could be like, Morgan, who'd you sit on that? I'm gonna do one thing. Hold on.
Your audio is not hard.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll see her grab something, somebody.
Cause she broke her phone. Not Taylor's phone.
I hope he wasn't.
She's on the phone right there.
Like she can laugh.
It's at 45. So that's what?
1345. That's 145. Just.
This video's not gonna go long enough.
Why did he do that?
She's on the phone, so.
I told him from.
No, she didn't even put in there until 2 o'clock.
Hello?
Hi, this is Roebuck. This is Tina.
This is who am I speaking with?
My name is. I'm the Dean of Students here at. I also have Derek in the room, who is his assistant principal. You may have spoken. The reason we're calling you is because yesterday there was an incident in the community where there was a phone call made to an emergency line to 911 stating that there was a shooter at Centennial or a kidnapping at Centennial. Did you hear about that? And then the school went on lockdown?
No, I didn't. At Centennial, no, I did not.
Okay. So the reason we're calling you is we have reason to believe that was the one who made that phone call off of another student's phone. Yes. So what we are hoping to do is we're hoping to bring into our office to speak with us about the incident with Officer Walton in the room. So we wanted to call you and offer if you wanted to come up here and be a part of that conversation with us. You're welcome to. We can wait until you're available.
Yes, I'm going to have to because I don't want you guys speaking to her alone.
Yeah, and that's okay. So we want her to share with us what she knows of the incident. We can share kind of what information we have. So if you are free to come up here, that would be great.
Okay, what time are you guys busy there?
Eventually, police identified a student they suspected made the call. The school contacted the student's parents and asked them to come in for a meeting. Shortly after, the mother showed up with her daughter, but before the student could explain anything, it was the mother who spoke first.
I'm gonna go this way. What? Are you the one that's going to question her? I got a couple of questions before she come in.
Yeah, you can ask me questions. I'm going to let the school question her.
Okay.
I don't want her to feel like she's intimidated about anything.
I want to know what makes them believe that she made a phone call. I just want to get a couple of questions before she gets done.
Okay. So yesterday, how it's being broken down right now, and again, I'm going to give you this bit of information because I want to make sure things are fair, but at the same time, I don't want to. I'm not in the business of violating rights. I'm not that cop. That's why I'm here now. I'm trusted in this position.
Right.
So there were your daughter and two other young ladies were riding the bus. These two young ladies even informed that your daughter had taken this one young lady's phone from her. And then
maybe on the bus, because I know she's been having an issue with taking this little girl's phone. So she does ride the bus with this young lady's phone that she's been taking.
Okay, understand.
Okay, I mean, is that she does ride the bus with the young lady's phone she's been taking? And so that's kind of what I was thinking when I was looking at the time frame. And I said, could it have happened on the bus?
Yes. That's where.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. So
Yaku, you just gotta get filled in by them, okay? Like it's.
And again, I'm not going to. I'm going to let them ask the questions.
We want to get Morgan down.
Okay.
Right. We want to talk to her too. I'm sending you share.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask him before she had came this gig. Okay, so the little girls are saying that this call.
Yeah, we're waiting on the camera footage from the bus also.
Okay, that was
So there's camera footage from the bus.
Okay.
We're
There's an
also
audio
waiting
recording.
okay. That was going to be my next question, because how do you guys know for sure that she made it? I mean, you know,
That's why we're doing this whole
right?
process.
You know, kids always say something. You know,
Yes.
and you know,
And we
I don't
can
want
talk
to, you know, but I know my child too. We have to be honest. And that was going to be my next thing, because I know stuff like that doesn't lie. So I wanted to know about a video recording or the audio calling.
I think that they.
Because like I said, I know my child's voice too.
Sure.
And I know y'all will probably know her voice too.
Again, we know
Do
the
you
kids
wanna
can mask
play
it.
In here.
Yep, I can play it right now.
Or do you think? Yeah. No.
So this is.
I am going to go check my email to see if they sent the footage. Is that okay?
Of course.
I'll be right back.
The mother firmly insisted that her daughter was innocent, but now that claim was about to be challenged. Officers played the 911 recording, hoping she'd recognize the voice and finally confront the reality of the situation.
Champaign County 911, hello? Champaign 911, hello?
And again, it went out for a while because she was just quiet. Then it came back after a while. It continued to play out for a while. She was on the phone.
So did she say something?
Yeah, originally starting off, yes. So here's more. Saying help, please. And it goes out for a while again.
I think what's going to be most telling is the yellow bus camera footage.
That right there sort of sounds like her voice.
It does.
That sounds like her
I mean,
voice. I'm just gonna be honest.
She's got a squeaky little voice.
I'm just
You and I
gonna
both
be
know.
honest. Yeah, that sort of do sound like her voice. I wish she would have spoke more to where I could say yes, that's definitely
Yes.
her. But that
Yes.
does sound like her voice.
Yeah,
I'm
there's-
just gonna be honest.
Yeah, there's one that comes in now because the other young ladies were explaining that the phone would go on mute and she set it down for a while and laugh. Then come back and take it off and say something.
Perspective. It will be what we call pending. She'll be suspended 10 days out of school pending an expulsion. The rest, the admin team, we will meet. We go through a form. Each of us, we don't talk. We just sit and we write like somebody will put in situation, I'll put in situation. We will go through it. We're going to mark a rating system. We're going to discuss it as an admin team and potentially take it to the Board of Education for expulsion.
And expulsion is from Unit 4 schools, all Unit 4 schools, or just Champaign Central?
It will be all uniform schools. Is that that's why we think that is likely what will happen due to this severity of the situation, right? Both schools had to lock down yesterday.
Yeah, that
And our teachers were coming to us about why didn't we get more information.
Yeah,
and Centennial had to send messaging out to their entire family. So that is, so I'm guessing she's going to be coming here soon.
Yeah, I'm not questioning that. I know.
Once the call played, the mother's certainty collapsed. She knew the voice belonged to her daughter, and there was no way to deny the truth any longer.
Hello.
I'm gonna call for him. Is Stephanie still in there? Okay. Do you want to sit in the comfort chair? Okay. Hi. Sorry for all the chaos that's ensuing right now. So you're here because there was something that happened yesterday while you're on the bus, a phone call was made to emergency about a possible shooter or kidnapping happening at Centennial. Do you know anything about it?
Wait, real quick. If you don't mind. When you answer, you need to be truthful. So besides, like, there's two pieces to this, right? You could have messed up. There's a certain level of help that we can give you, even if you mess up, as long as you tell the truth. If you lie, it just makes it so much harder for all of us to help you. The other thing is, it is really easy to remember the truth and to tell it because we lived it. Where we get in the weeds sometimes, where we have a hard time, is when we lie, because we never actually lived the lie. So sometimes our stories seem all over the place because we forget the lies we tell. Okay, Morgan, you understand that?
Yes.
It is very important for you, not us, for you to tell the truth. Okay? And trust us that we'll give you whatever level of help we can. It doesn't mean you're not going to take your licks for any sort of discipline. Just please be honest with us, okay?
So we're working on getting recordings, audio, video, but we identified what phone the call came from. We have a recording of the actual phone call itself. We have video and audio on all the buses. So do you know anything about a phone call that was made to emergency stating that there was something happening at Centennial?
No, me and my friend she was just prank calling restaurants and stuff on the bus.
Who's your friend that you were calling restaurants? From whose phone?
Hers.
Okay. Is there anyone else on the bus with you guys that you're sitting by?
No.
Okay.
Them other kids that go there.
Okay. Was there anyone else prank calling? Using their phone to make calls?
No. The only people that's on their phone is
Okay. Did you make any phone calls?
no. I was talking to Taylor.
Okay. But nobody else on the bus? So I'm going to be honest. People on the bus have identified that you were also making phone calls and that you borrowed a girl's phone to make phone calls. Why would they say that?
I didn't use nobody else's phone. The other time that situated with Miss Ely talking to me about the girl phone, I never used her phone again.
Police and school officials presented the evidence, making it clear they had everything needed to show the girl was behind the call. Still, they offered her an opportunity to admit the truth and own up to her actions. It was now up to her. But would she tell the truth?
Who is that girl?
She got beads in her hair.
Okay. Does she ride the bus with you?
Just in the mornings.
Okay. She doesn't ride the bus with you in the afternoon. Interesting. So,
Can we confirm? Okay.
Phone actually was pinging around the Centennial area at the time the phone call went off, and it also would show that if the person was not at Centennial, they were either walking by or either on a motor vehicle that potentially would have been going past and or stopped there.
while these kids were making prank phone calls on the bus, you didn't hear anybody call an emergency. You're saying you did not make any phone calls.
No.
We do have 2 reports from 2 different kids that you were the one that made the phone call from another student's phone.
And very shortly we're going to be getting bus footage that has audio.
Which is why we really need you to be honest.
And I'm going to be honest, I'm just a little concerned with your lack of eye contact with any of us. I'm not going to make any assumptions. Just telling you what I know from doing this job for a bit. Okay?
I'm going to also chime in with just by the way your breathing posture is as well. Your carotid artery is chopping out the side of your neck. Your chewing pattern, your gum changed, and your breathing pattern also changed. I'm not going to pry and pick and probe anything out of you. But the thing is if you are honest, and again, I'm not even asking any questions. If you are being honest right now and up front, it's going to look a lot better than when we grab camera footage and it shows you doing it. That's what I want you to understand. I want you to see right now that because we're getting camera footage from the bus. Camera footage is going to be here. I don't want you to sit there and say, no, I didn't do this. And then we get camera footage and we play it in your face and in your mom's face. And it's showing that you're doing it because it's going to just make you look like a liar at that point. I understand the fear of understanding what you did and you may have figured like, okay, this was wrong. But at the same time, you got to understand you're going to live with that guilt continually You're going to continue to live with that guilt. And especially knowing that you could have let it off your chest, you will relax and be at ease a lot better.
And remember, I always tell you to tell the truth, no matter how bad it may seem.
We are going to want her to write a statement. So is it okay if I get you a statement form and you can write what you know of the incident, what happened on the bus yesterday afternoon, how you were involved with it or not involved with it? Okay.
The turning point came at last, and after hearing what the officers had to say, the student broke down and confessed to making the call. With all the evidence against her, she knew she had no option but to take responsibility for what she'd done.
I'll go to her office.
Yeah, probably. Want me to call again?
Please.
They're all okay out there? Is that okay as that can be?
He's got people, we got good people.
Oh,
What was the time and date the incident occurred?
Also, it happened on September 9th, 2024, in between 1:59 and 2 o'clock p.m. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. Sheesh, man.
After her arrest, the student faced charges for making a false report to law enforcement.